and welcome to another street edition of Matter Africa on television Nigeria this wonderful day. We are out here on the streets of Abuja to find out from the masses, from the people, from the men, from the women, from the youth, if women really are more violent than men in relationship. Although studies have proven that, but we're yet to assess that. I'm sure the opinion of the people we're yet to get today on the streets of Abuja, we will be getting the accurate analysis. Please join us. Domestic violence is often seen as a female victim, male perpetrator problem, but the evidence demonstrates that this is a false picture. John Archer claims that women lash out more frequently than their husbands or boyfriends. When people see a woman being abused in public, they tend to be quick to react. People will even put their own safety at risk to try to protect a vulnerable victim. Unfortunately, when the victim is a man, people not only do not react, they often find it humorous. The research found that women showed controlling behavior along with serious levels of threat, intimidation, and physical violence when in a relationship more often than men. A few number of young men and women were questioned about if women are more violent than men in a relationship, and this is what they had to say.
This is two-sided, and there are some factors that could lead to one being violent, be it male or female in relationship. When it talks about violence in relationship, it has a lot of emotional angles. There are kind of people who can't forgive. They pile up some issues in their hearts, they don't communicate. And of course, inability to communicate is what really accumulates the level of violence that people push or dish out, be it a male or female. Like a woman who is in a relationship and seeks audience most of the time with her male counterpart to speak her mind, to address some certain issues, which might be true or false, but based on her perception that something is going wrong. Example, cheating, maybe she's suspecting the kind of phone the man answers, and then trying to speak about it, talk about it, and the man is always not giving her the room. Of course, it gets to a point that it piles up, wrong assumption piling up, and then she just have to take a wrong decision, being violent. When she finally gets to know something a bit close to what she has been expecting in her mind, of course she can get violence. That's human nature and is psychologically part of her uniqueness. Then you also look at it from the male counterpart. A lot of men also, men based on the way they are wired, psychologically and emotionally, they don't want to speak about everything. Women are West prone, but men are not West prone. So at a point, it got a boiling point that the person can't keep anymore, and the person just implode. And that leads to the series of killings. We are seeing the case of a banker murdering his wife and so many other killings that you read daily on the newspapers about in relationships. So for me, personally, I believe in communication, because communication is a lifeline of every organization or life itself. God is a communicator and we should be communicators.
I will not say women are more violent. I think the thing is there is that though sometimes you can see some women who are also violent as well as men also. So, but the way I have looked at it, men mostly, I look at them, they are more violent when it comes to relationship. Because I have discovered that when some men, when a woman don't even want a relationship, they want to force the woman to go into that relationship by all costs. Some can kidnap, some can do all manner of things to see that they get such lady. So for women, the highest they can do is that when they are interested in somebody and maybe the person is not responding, Some of them can either go to prayer or go to some native doctor, whatever, to be able, but not be able to come to show power. But for men, you see mostly at times, if you look at what is happening in our country, you will get a lot of statistics about this thing, that men rape, men force, men, to kidnap women. So when you look at all these things, you'll be able to discover that men are the ones that are violent most of the times in relationships.
Same as men that fall into the category of those that are more violent. Maybe by their physical nature, they are more powerful in terms of the sex. So maybe that's what is in their advantage of being violent.
I think men are more violent because naturally a woman is submissive. To my own understanding, women are naturally submissive. What makes women violent to some extent is because of what they go through from men. Men bring out that violence in women, and it's the violence from men that makes them probably try to maybe defend themselves or something. That's just it. But I think men are more violent.
I would say women can be. I wouldn't conclude, but women can be more violent because for a lady you have to hold a lot of things in your mind. Kind of when a man is giving you some tough time, you just keep taking it in, and keep taking it in. When you strike, when a woman strikes, it gets more worse and bad than when a man does his own. Theirs is just they just want to flex their muscles. They just want to flex their muscles. But I tell you, the women's side is bad because before you see a woman strike, it means that she has taken a lot inside. But the first to do that is mostly men. Men are mostly violent in terms of a relationship. But the woman must have taken a lot of shit before doing what she does.
When it comes to relationship, I think women are more violent than men because every woman will always want to protect his man. So many women, sometimes they go extra miles to make sure they get a particular man, Most of the time you see them, like, I've watched so many movies, not just movies, I've seen realities where women go to native doctors and all that to get love charms and all that, So I think by that they are more violent when it comes to relationship than men. So, but the men, they wouldn't do a thing like that because they believe that there are so many women everywhere. So even if they didn't get this person, definitely they will get the other person.
This is where we come to the end of the street edition of Matter Africa on television Nigerian. You have heard from the men, you have also heard from the women. We're yet to balance the whole analysis, which the studies have proven. But then again, violence is an abuse that needs to be stopped. It's a violation of rights. We can't live in disunity all the time. Now, when you're in a relationship or you're in a marriage and you're seeing the warning signs, it's okay for you to leave or probably seek help. This helps you think better in your relationships. But killing is definitely not an option, and we can't continue killing because that's not the solution to a peaceful home, to a peaceful relationship, or to peaceful coexistence. But then that is all we have for you today. Until I come your way again next week for another interesting edition of the program, keep watching Matter Africa on television Nigerian. I am Blessing Akbara. Do have